Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dirain and today we continue diving into the drama and novel Lost You Forever, comparing the two versions of the story. If you missed previous parts, I highly recommend checking them out before you continue this video. And if you don't want to miss my next videos, subscribe! To Xiaoyao's surprise, neither Anya nor Zhanxuan can swim. Zhanxuan turns his legs into wood to float. As for Anya, well, she's panicking, and as Xiaoyao approaches her to try to help her, she clings to Xiaoyao like an octopus, dragging her down with her. Xiaoyao has no choice but to knock her out and drag her to the shore. Once there, she wakes her up and tells her to stay put, while Xiaoyao goes to look for Zhanxuan. Xiaoyao doesn't find him, and with that, sisters head back to the inn to ask Russo to go search for Zhanxuan. The tournament, which was their goal for the trip in the novel, is actually happening, but Xiaoyao couldn't care less at this point. Anyan, though, manages to drag her along to watch the final round. And guess who's already there? Zhanxuan. And he's with Xinyue. Xiaoyao wants nothing to do with that, so she heads straight to the stands to watch the competition, leaving Anyan to scold Gaga for disappearing. Xiaoyao and Russo watch the tournament and casually chat when Xiaoyao suddenly feels someone watching her. And yep, it's Tu Shanjin, keeping a very close eye on her and Russo. Xiaoyao just smiles to herself and thinks, I promised not to fall for anyone else, but I never promised not to talk to other guys. After the match ends, everyone starts leaving, including Jin and his fiancée. As they pass by, Ying gives Russo a polite smile, while Jin throws a jealous glance at Russo's hand on Xiaoyao's shoulder. Jealous. Right in front of my salad, while walking hand in hand with his fiancée. What a sly little fox. But there's no time to unpack the jealousy issues right now. Xiaoyao pulls Russo away and they run straight into Zhanxuan and Anyan. Later, back at the inn, Xiaoyao and Zhanxuan talk about what really happened on the lake. That is exactly when Zhanxuan tells Xiaoyao she is still a dreamy girl for thinking that Xinyue's feelings will help create an alliance between the powerful clans. He himself believes that she will put power first and won't help unless it benefits her. We move to chapter 12, and it starts with something interesting for those who've only seen the drama. While out walking, our group bumps into Xinyue again, and this time she's with a polite young man who turns out to be her twin brother, Fenlong. They introduce themselves, and Fenlong asks Zhanxuan if he knows Tu Shanjin. As we know, the twins are close friends with both Jin and Ying. In the novel setting, they wanted to celebrate lovebirds reuniting with a small party, and Ying suggested inviting Zhanxuan's group. Of course, it was a great opportunity for Ying to find out more about her target in such an informal situation, while he would lower his guard. And the fact that Xinyue was absolutely into Zhanxuan only made it easier for Ying to make it look like she wants to help her friend get closer to her crush. Once again, in the novel, the party was organized by Fenlong and Xinyue, and it was Ying who suggested inviting Zhanxuan. Xiaoyao doesn't want to attend, understandably, because she doesn't feel like watching Jin play perfect couple with someone else. So she stays behind while Zhanxuan and Anyan go. Xiaoyao ends up wandering around, and suddenly she catches a glimpse of a woman in red slipping on a boat. The man standing beside her stretches his hand to help her, and she elegantly falls into his arms and hugs him tightly. Well, that man and woman are no other than Tu Shanjin and Fangfang Yiying. Xiaoyao is upset but thinks that it was to be expected. Do you remember how the drama tells this whole part with the party and the meeting? First, we see Fenlong asking Tu Shanjin why Tu Shanjin wants to throw a party at Fenlong's mansion. Jin says that he has friends in town he wants to meet, and Fenlong replies, your friends are my friends too. Keep in mind, for Zhanxuan, this is a huge political moment. This banquet is his first step to gain new allies. And who is making this possible? Tu Shanjin, naturally, in the drama at least. And in the drama, Xiaoyao does go with Zhanxuan while Anyan stays behind with Russo. When they arrive, it is Jin who introduces them both to Fanglong and Xingyuan. And first thing Jin does as they are settled at the table is discussing politics, of course. Moreover, after Fanglong asks Jin for his opinion on the situation with his father, Jin readdresses the question to Zhang to give him an opportunity to show his wits. At first, it almost seems like Zhang fails, but Jin keeps pushing Fanglong to listen to him. Eventually, Zhang gives a great speech that wins Fanglong over. And just look at the way Xiao gazes at Tu Shenjin after that. Pure gratitude, pure feelings. But our lovebirds cannot enjoy each other's company for too long because Yiying shows up, making things very awkward for both Xiao and Jin. Yiying tries to act like everything's fine, while Tu Shenjin looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. Eventually, Xiao cannot take it anymore and just leaves. Well, I would have done the same. And here we get a somewhat sweet and cute, somewhat deep and important, but also not making any sense cross-dressing meeting with Xianliu at the lake. Xiao spots a ferryman and calls out to him. The ferryman doesn't want to take another passenger because his client is the famous nine-headed demon snake Xianliu. But to everyone's surprise, Xianliu tells him to pick that random person up and let them travel on the ferry. Super out of character, right? The ferryman even says, "I was told to get you out of the city without attracting attention." Okay, wait, I have questions. Isn't Xianliu the same guy who can disappear in one place and appear in another place? He sort of teleports in this drama. Doesn't he ride a giant bird? Doesn't he swim faster than anything alive? And now he's sneaking out on a public boat in a daylight through a busy river. Make it make sense for me because it kind of doesn't. Even worse, he's acting like he's forgotten how to be, well, Xianliu. He's revealing way too much to this ferryman. He's being way too obvious. I mean, what was that whole reign over me story, for example?
Girl, my body don't lie. My mind, let it rain over me.
And then the boat shakes just so Xiao ends up sitting next to Xianliu. It's full-on cringy romance novel mode, and honestly, it's hard to watch without doing a full facepalm, for me at least. That said, let's try to focus on the deeper meaning behind that whole cringe. Xianliu is disguised as a veiled woman, probably because he doesn't want Xiao to recognize him, because it would have complicated things. It's not like he's here simply for a stroll or something like that. He probably was doing something for the rebel army, and Xiao is not the one to not ask questions and be silent about it. Or maybe Xianliu just wanted to be close to her without being himself and to see how she really is with other people. Although this veiled woman would still be a stranger to Xiao, so I don't know about that, but who knows? And it is kind of sweet if you ignore the ridiculous setup. There's a nice little moment when he asks if she has someone special on her mind. And yeah, we all know that he wants to be that special person for her, so this question is him trying to see if there's any chance. When Xiao calls him fierce but good, you can tell that it touches him. But then he falls into her arms and tells her they might be a good match. Dude, you're in a woman's body. What exactly are you hoping for here? Like, should Xiao start being gay for you? Well, Xianliu, my guy, you're in a different kind of a novel now. Maybe we should switch the genres. Xiao obviously rejects him and he instantly goes moody and tells the ferryman to stop the boat. Facepalm meter +1. Their meeting still ends on a sweet note though, when Xianliu gives Xiao a basket of snacks, remembering her complaint that a certain someone always eats her food. Always eats her food. Before departing, he tells her that people who care about her get upset when she's upset. And of course, we know he literally feels her emotions, but Xiao doesn't connect the dots at all. Finally, Xianliu sails away looking all thoughtful and emotional, on a boat, without his disguise, through a crowded canal, even though he's supposed to be escaping without attracting attention. Once again, it makes zero sense for someone like him. he could have at least stayed as a veiled woman for a bit longer, before they got out of the crowd. I get the idea behind the scene, sure, it's meant to be romantic, dramatic, maybe even poetic, but in terms of character consistency, it's a disaster. With that, we have come to the end of this video. I hope my analysis brought you joy and made you see something differently, or simply reminded you of the beauty of the novel and its complex view of the main characters. Thank you for watching till the end, leaving a like and commenting. Stay healthy, happy and take care of yourselves. Till the next video!